नमः हरिः ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवांसस्तनोभिः व्यसेम देवैतैः यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताख्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति न बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांतिः ओम अग्नेनय सुपताराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भो इष्टान्ते नम भुक्तिं विधेम ओम शांति शांति शांतिः ओम आब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवर्चसी जायताम् आराष्ट्रे राजन्यः शूरैषभ्यातिव्याधि महारथो जायताम् दोग्रीन् धेनुर्वोढान् नड्वान् आसु सप्तिः पुरन्धित्योषा जिष्णारतेष्ठाः सवेयो युवस्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायताम् निकामे निकामेन पर्जन्यो न वर्षतु फलवत्यो न भोषधयः पच्यन्ताम् योगक्षेमो न कल्पेताम् ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणचक्षुः स्तोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वो ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणम् अस्तु अनिराकरणम् मे अस्तु तदात्मनिरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांतिः ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांतिः हरि ओम नमस्ते
Namaste. Mantra number, please, today. Chapter 8, mantra.
Okay, thank you. No, 8th we completed, and we are in the last strip of the 8th chapter, where the Rakta Bija is being killed, and now we have got to go to see the why for the war between Sumbhani Simbhas and also Ammavaru, Durga Parameswari, who were so ferocious, but to finish her. And they want to kill and be done with her. That was the spirit with which the Chandamunda, the Sumbhani Simbhas attack. And we are in the now 9th chapter. We go with that chapter, Tritiya Charitam. Om Suklam Bhadharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighna Upashantaye Agajananavadmarkam Gajananavaharnisam Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadam Tam Nupasmahe Gnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Krishnam Kamalapatraksham Punyasravanakittanam Vasudevam Jagadyonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Naumi Narayanam Harim Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matrupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha Devi Prapannarti Hare Prasida Prasida Mataha Jagato Khilasya Prasida Visveswari Pahi Vishwam Tvamishwari Devi Characharasya Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matrurupena Samsthita Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha. Sarva Chaitanya Rupam Tam Adyam Shaktim Cha Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayadu. So today is a very auspicious day when we are remembering Ammavaru, Durga Parameswari, because in Durga Sahasranamam there is the complement and nama, Kirti to Dhammavaru, Amavasya Pujitayai Namo Namaha. That is, especially on Amavasya day, Ammavaru Durga Parameswari, Om Dum Durgayai Namaha, is remembered and worshipped. On the other hand, Lalita Parameswari is remembered on a Purnima day. So Lalita is the directive head. Durga Parameswari is the executive head. So, but anyway, both are same. See, when the employees are working, the boss is also working through the employees. And therefore, the entire project or unit or office is one only. They give only one name for the office or name for the offices. Collector's office. So, for example, all people are working. Same manner, here also, Lalita is Durga and Durga is Lalita, but both are committed to the Arti Nasini. See, whatever Arti is there, that she is able to attend and reduce and see that as far as the scope is permitting, these deities give us comfort, peace of mind, success in our activity, and health in body, mind, and spirit, that you are able to wade through the tunnels of life run. So, this is what we understand. And moreover, Markandeya Purana is a very interesting Purana because Markandeya is a Chiranjeevi, and he is the one who visualized Krishna, I mean Narayana, floating on the water in the darkness. But when Narayana appeared, the darkness was removed, dispelled, and there was bright light, and that bright light was visualized by Markandeya, and he saw that small boy like Padaravindam Mukharavinde Vinivesayantam Vatasya Patrasya Pute Sayanam Balam Mukundam Manasasmarami. That Mukunda is a Balarupi, and we meditate on him. So that the Mukunda is, and Durga and Parameswari, all these things are being explained to us by Maharshis because they want the literature, the influence of the gods to live generations together. Therefore, we see the Parameswari. And moreover, what mistake that Brahmadeva did was, even before he was able to see and get permission and all that, he started creation and he created the negative creation. After doing tapas, Brahma created the Rakshasas, then Manavas, then Devas. So that Brahma is only Iswara, Mahadeva, or the Narayana, whatever we got, there are no two people. Names may be different, but person is the same. One is a father, uncle, officer, vehicle rider, and he's a passenger. Look at it, same individual. But the portfolios that in life one would experience different. So like that, here also, Ammavaru Adishakti Swarupini is alone, one, but she is able to manifest, maintain, manage the universe, and that way nobody can exist, out exist the pralayam, everybody is submerged, and that is how it goes on. So here there have been Dushta Rakshasa Bandhini Dushtarakshasa Sikshini. So the Shakti, when coupled with together with the Shiva, she becomes a Mahasaktini. Mahasakti Kundalini, but Bisatantu Taniyasi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. But anyway, it's all different. Now, in the fight with the Sumbani Sumbhas, ultimately to go with, but he has got large number of Senadipatis, innumerable Sainyam, and also even the Sainyam also are in variety. There also the scared outcome. So when the Raktabija died, he became very unhappy, and so he ordered all kinds of army with him to spring into action and start fighting with Amavaru. And now in the 9th chapter, the Amavaru Swarupam, see in our Durga, Amavaru Swarupam is one who is called Ambika Swarupam. And how is that Ambika now? That I just read the Prarthana Sloka of the 9th chapter. And Navama and 10th chapters are very important because I'm just in Durga Saptasati class. I will just talk to you afterwards. If not, you can join the class if you are free. Come, welcome. So, Om Bandhuka Kanchanam Nibham Ruchira Akshamalam Pasha Ankusaucha Varadam Nijabahudandaihi Vibranam Indusekalavharanam Trinetram Ardhambikesham Anisham Vapuhu Asrayami. So Vapuhu Asrayami. We are just imagining the personality, appearance, Swarupam of Devi as Ardhambika. Ardhanari Swarupam. She is Shiva Shakti Eka Swarupini. When you say that, there is Shiva Shakti in her, and in Shiva there is the Atma Shakti in it. So thereby we have got to think of the Ardha Ambika Isha. Ardha Ambika Isha. Ishvara is there, Ambika is there. Both of them have shared. This is what we see. We are trying to follow it. Then when that Suratha Maharaja was hearing the Charitam, and they were very much scared and astonished. What kind of management, warfare, war skill, and trying to put out all the dushtas who are detrimental for the peace. And adella vichitramidamakhyatam. He says that vichitramidamakhyatam. This akhyana is vichitram. And Devyaha Charitam Jarita Mahatmyam Raktabija Vadhasritam. That's important. So what is the central pillar of the entire Devi Charitam or Devi's story is she trying to put out the Raktabija. And to kill Raktabija is a difficult job. As you understand, Raktabija, each drop of the blood that gets out from his body produces thousands of soldiers or Maharakshas, Mahasuras, similar to the power and stature and skill, etc. of Raktabija, and therefore it is very hard to manage. Imagine, Ammavaru became Brahmarambika. Brahmaram Rupena Aruna Mahasuram Jadhana. future you'll get it. So Devi Mahachadali, there are so many kinds of difficult Mahasuras who were put down by her. Papa, she has to adopt a form whether she likes or not, and she has to attend to the management of the world. For example, you observe in Lalita Sahasranamam, Mritchudaru Kutarikayai Namaha and Roga Parvata Dambholaye Namaha. So when you observe this, Mrityu is a daru. It is a common feature to all people which has got repeated occurrence because Mrutva Janar Mrutva Punar Mritchuma Pajyante. So Mrutva Punaha Mritchuma Pajyante. So Mrityu, the accident or incidents or episodes are not at all novel. They repeat on. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪೀಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. If you hit a table and hurt your fingers, there will be another thing where you can hurt your knee also because of the height reaching. So thereby, Mrityu is a daru. Daru means tree, wood. And Kutarika is the axe. So axe is the only one which can uproot the Mrityu daru, Mrityu tree. And but Roga Parvata Dambholi. Dambholi is Vajrayuda, and Rogas are taken as the Parvatam, a heap, wherein you cannot have any classification of that. So our body is a ocean. Every day it cannot be sound in stature, and some part of the body will be drawing our attention, major or minor or otherwise. So thereby, you see, he wanted her. And then you Rakta Bija Satod Mele, Slokanam, I just some review for a while up to the point where we are got to go with. Then in fifth sloka, the Sumbhasura, Sumbha and Nisumbhasuras became awfully annoyed. Especially Ravanasura was immensely annoyed when Kumbhakarna and Indrajit were killed. Before that, he was quite peaceful, staying in his own bungalow, palace. But when these two great heroes were killed by Rama and Lakshmana in the war, then he became really afraid. He himself came to the war ground. And look at that is what is Arunaga Rakshasa. So that way here, when that fellow got killed, the Sumbas became very angry, and moreover, he Hanyamanam, sloka number 6, Hanyamanam Mahasainyam Dilokya Amarsham Udvahan Abhyadhavata Nisimbhodha Mukhya Asurasenaya. So the Mukhya Asurasena, that is, there is large amount of Sena, I mean people, soldiers, but they take only select and then go to the final fight. Even in Amavaru also, when she was to fight with the Bandasura, what was the status? Bandasura vadhojyukta mukta mukhya sena samavratayi namo namaha. Bandasura samhara ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅವನ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ she has a select army, and with that select army she went and attacked. Therefore, here also, this Rakta Bija Sattod Mele, what this Sumbhasura and Nisumbha, they have taken note of it. And Adarali Kuda, the Sumbhasura, at first he goes and he just gathers Mukhyaya Asurasenaya. And there are the Agrataha, Prushte, Pasve, Mahasuraha, Sandushtau, Ashtaputa, Kruddha, Antum, Devi, Upayu. See, as the demon was coming to fight, now it's a Yuddha Varnana, entertaining, and it is very interesting. See, it's always easy and entertaining for people to watch players playing. ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಟೆನ್ನಿಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಫುಟ್ಬಾಲ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಥೌಸಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾದರ್. But the players, how much tension and all that they run when they are playing, because thousands of eyes are looking at them. So here too, when Amavaru is able to put out so many kinds of important asuras, then these Mahasuras, they became extraordinarily anger. So anger, enmity are the two key feelings in the war. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರಹ ನಿರುತ್ಸಾಹ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ತರಹ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯುದ್ಧದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಅಂದರೆ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್, ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಫೇಸ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮಿಲಿಟ್ರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಮಿಲಿಟ್ರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್. So for example, sometime when we are young, so when you go to a restaurant, while paying the bill, not one person would pay the bill. So military system ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡೋಣ and we enjoy the dishes ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಮಿಲಿಟ್ರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್, ನೋ ಕೂಂಬಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಸಂದಷ್ಟ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಸಂದಷ್ಟೌಷ್ಟ ಪುಟ. ಓಷ್ಟ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಲಿಪ್ಸ್, ಸಂದಷ್ಟ ಈಸ್ ಬೈಟಿಂಗ್. And Kruddhaha, they became very much angry. Devim Hantum Nupayuhu. They came near Ammavaru with a view to finish her. And then when the Nishumbha came forward and Sumbha came forward, then now we are talking about the war that Sumbha fought with the Ammavaru from sloka number 8. See, these two people had idea to marry her. And also she had put a condition, Durga Amma, that only those who win her in the war, they can be her, they can be wooers to her and she will marry them. ಸೊ ಆ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಹೊರಟೋಯ್ತು. ಪಾಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಆದರೂ ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಯೂತ್ಗೆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆವಾಗ ಯಾರೋ ಮದುವೆ ಅಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೇನು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಮ್ಮ ನನಗೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಲೆಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ವಿವಾಹಂ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ದೇ somehow temporarily suppressed the love towards Ammavaru, but love turned into anger, and anger into action, and thereby we don't know what would happen to love. So the prema is one thing that will be giving rise. That's why कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते, क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः, सम्मोहात् स्मृतिभ्रमः, ಸ್ಮೃತಿಭ್ರಂಶಾತ್ ಬುದ್ಧಿನಾಶಃ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಂಗಾಗತ್ತಂದರೆ, ಜಾಯತೋ ವಿಷಯಾನ್ ಪುಂಸಃ ಸಂಗಸ್ತೇಷೂಪಜಾಯತೆ, ಸಂಗಾತ್ ಸಂಜಾಯತೆ ಕಾಮಃ, ಕಾಮಾತ್ ಕ್ರೋಧೋಭಿಜಾಯತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಪೆರಿಶಿಂಗ್. This is how all the Mahasuras entertained. So they have that kind of sangha to the higher jobs, higher positions, and they want to occupy all power. Already whatever power that these people have occupied, they are not contented. There is no contentment in Rakshasas. But Ammavaru is Trupta, Nitya Trupta, Niravajya. So ಅದು ತೃಪ್ತ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಕಾರಣ ಅಂದರೆ, you have got to have ಸೊ ನಿತ್ಯ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಇರಬೇಕು. See, when you want to get trupti, you should have that kind of resignation towards the wants and pleasures. So Nityatrupta andre constantly, it's not temporary. So here they have a great deal of vairagyam in respect of for temporarily suppressed, and they came to fight. So in sloka number 9 and 10, you observe the war going on. Tato yuddham ativa आसीत् देव्याः शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः शरवर्षमति अतीवोग्रं मेघयोरिव वर्षतोः चिच्छेदास्तान् शरां ताभ्यां चण्डिका स्वसरोत्करैः ताडयामास चाङ्गेषु शस्त्रौख्यै Asureshwarau. So the description goes on, and now we have got to do from the sloka number 11 and further go on, so that you could see the technology, the skill, the methodology, the expertise in the warfare. That's why the Kshatriya Kumaras are given more time to perfect skills in the martial arts. So the Manusmriti and all the Smritikaras give large margin that the Kshatriyas need not worry about God immediately. Upanayana samskara begin Veda. They have only when they reach 12th year, the boy reaches, a Kshatriya boy reaches 12th year, and he can try to that kind of Upanayana samskara till he becomes 20 years old. So 8 years time, any time. Similarly, for Vaisyas are business people, ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂಗಡಿ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ರಾತ್ರಿಯಿಂದ. So they will not be able to do that. So as the boys, when they turn 16, till 16 they can help their parents or in their parents' profession or something. But when they get into 16th year, they are eligible to get Upanayanam, go up to 24 years. So that's why many times the Vaisyas will do Upanayanam and marriage together at one time. So anyway, here the point is the Rakshasas, Sumbas, have showered the Banavarsham, Shastraughaihi Asureswarau. So Nishumbha Nisitam Kadgam Charmam Chadaya Suprabham Atadayan Murdni Simham Devyaha Vahanamuttamam. So what he did was, he irritated the lion. You should not irritate, because he wanted to first destroy the lion, the Vahanam, and then pounce on Durga Parameswari. That is the way that he wanted to start the war. So, Atadayat Simham Atadayatu, where he hit it, Murdhni, on the head of the lion. He hit with his sword and Avanas. Which is that lion? Uttamam Vahanam Devyaha. There may be other Vahanas to Devi with which she came, but among them, the Uttama Vahanam is the Simham. So that's why when Narasimha took when Vishnu took the Narasimha Avataram, that is the Uttama Avataram. You understand? So that is the Uttama Avataram which we have. So here, Devyaha Uttamam Vahanam Simham. Now we come to the note down that which is among so many Vahanas, which is the best Vahanam which Ammavaru likes, uses. Avaga is Uttamam Vahanam. And then when the Vahanam is heard, I am reading. So, Shivalinga Varaya, please repeat. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪಾರಾಯಣ ಸುಖನೂ ಬರಬೇಕು. ತಾಡಿತೆ ವಾಹನೆ ದೇವಿ
ತಾಡಿತೆ ವಾಹನೆ ದೇವಿ ತಾಡಿತೆ ವಾಹನೆ ದೇವಿ
ಶುರ ಪ್ರೇಣಾಸಿ ಮುತ್ತಮಂ
ಶುರ ಪ್ರೇಣಾನಿ ಶುರ ಪ್ರೇಣ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡಿ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಕ್ಷುರ ಪ್ರೇಣ ಅಸಿ ಉತ್ತಮಂ
ಶುರ ಪ್ರೇಣ ಅಸಿ ಮುತ್ತಮಂ ಶುರ ಪ್ರೇಣ ಅಸಿ ಉತ್ತಮುತ್ತಮಂ
ನಿಶುಂಭಸ್ಯಾಸು ಚಿಚ್ಛೇದ
ನಿಶುಂಭಸ್ಯಾಸು ಚಿಚ್ಛೇದ ನಿಶುಂಭಸ್ಯಾಸು ಚಿಚ್ಛೇದ
ಚರ್ಮ ಚಾಪಿ ಅಷ್ಟಚಂದ್ರಕಂ
ಚರ್ಮ ಚಾಪ್ಯ ಅಷ್ಟಚಂದ್ರಕಂ ಚರ್ಮ ಚಾಪ್ಯ ಅಷ್ಟಚಂದ್ರಕಂ
छिन्ने भिन्ने चर्मणि भिन्ने और छिन्ने चर्मणि खड्गे च
ಚಿನ್ನೆ ಚರ್ಮಣಿ ಖಡ್ಗೆ ಚ ಚಿನ್ನೆ ಚರ್ಮಣಿ ಖಡ್ಗೆ ಚ
शक्तिं चिक्षेपसोऽसुरः
ಖಡ್ಗೆ ಚ ಶಕ್ತಿಂ ಚಿಕ್ಷೇಪಸೋऽಸುರಃ ಶಕ್ತಿಂ ಚಿಕ್ಷೇಪಸೋऽಸುರಃ
तामप्यस्य द्विधा चक्रे
ತಾಮಪ್ಯಸ್ಯ ದ್ವಿಧಾ ಚಕ್ರೆ ತಾಮಪ್ಯಸ್ಯ ದ್ವಿಧಾ ಚಕ್ರೆ
चक्रेणाभिमुखागताम्
ಚಕ್ರೇಣಾಭಿಮುಖಾಗತಾಂ ಚಕ್ರೇಣಾಭಿಮುಖಾಗತಾಂ
कोपाद्मातो निशुम्भोऽथ
ಕೋಪಾದ್ಮಾತೋ ನಿಶುಂಭೋತ ಕೋಪಾದ್ಮಾತೋ ನಿಶುಂಭೋತ
शूलं जग्राह दानवः
ಶೂಲಂ ಜಗ್ರಾಹ ದಾನವಃ ಶೂಲಂ ಜಗ್ರಾಹ ದಾನವಃ
आयान्तं मुष्टिपातेन
ಆಯಾತಂ ಮುಷ್ಟಿಪಾತೇನ ಆಯಾತಂ ಮುಷ್ಟಿಪಾತೇನ
आयान्तं मुष्टिपातेन
ಆಯಾಂತಂ ಮುಷ್ಟಿಪಾತೇನ ಆಯಾಂತಂ ಮುಷ್ಟಿಪಾತೇನ
देवी तच्चाप्यचूर्णयतु
ದೇವಿ ತಚ್ಚಾಪ್ಯಚೂರ್ಣಯತ್ ದೇವಿ ತಚ್ಚಾಪ್ಯಚೂರ್ಣಯತ್.
So this is the detail of the way how the war was taking place, because here there is one proverb in Sanskrit, note ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಪ ಶಿವಲಿಂಗಯ್ಯ, ಶಠಸ್ಯ ಸಾಠ್ಯಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So if anybody is shatha, you have to also use the same tempo or same to reply him. Another one formula. See, you cannot always budge for people and be docile and get hurt and lose things. So that's why if there is some case, there is a lawyer and opposite lawyer and lawyer. So both of them will argue in the court. It all depends upon the evidences and other matters to see that the case term is ruled out or closed, favorable to one person only. ಆ ತರಹ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಆಯುಧ ಪ್ರಯೋಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಮ್ಮವಾರು ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ಅಪ್ರಾಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್గా she has taken up ಆಯುಧಂ and tried to kill her or destroy that. So you must have seen in old classical movies like Maya Bazaar, Pandaviyam, Kira. So there are that Kichaka and all that. So you observe the fight being shown, and before that, that's Rajasim, some other classical movie, fencing ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕತ್ತಿ ಯುದ್ಧ. So earlier they used to show the fencing earlier, but later on, depending on the kind of war and the Rakshasas, in movies, in films, they used to show the Astra-Shastra Prayoga and the fire, how each one was trying to overpower the other. So hange illi Churap, when once that lion was hurt, was hit by the Rakshasa. Then she took a chura asi uttamam. So this Nisumbha has taken the charma yudha to finish. But now Ammavaru rightly got up and she took the another appropriate weapon, chura and asi, and then she tried to break away, destroy the charma ayudha and also Ashtachandrakam. This is the names of the weapons. So Astra Shastragala Hesargalagal ide namage. So in Ramayana, Mahabharata, in Mahabharata, you have more scope for knowing your Astra Shastras, the weapons and missiles in Mahabharata. So there are people who have taken PhD or research degree by working on such topics from Mahabharata and Ramayana. But in fact, I happened to meet a lady who completed her thesis on the weapons and missiles, Astra-Shastras employed by different army soldiers in Mahabharata. So, but here Ashtachandrakam Charma Chicheda. So, what Ashtachandraka Purnavagiruva Charmastravannu Tayi ಕಟ್ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಳೆ. ದೆನ್ ಈ ಅಸುರ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ, ಚಿನ್ನೆ ಚರ್ಮಣಿ ಖಡ್ಗೆ ಚ ಶಕ್ತಿಂ ಚಿಕ್ಷೇಪ ಸೋಸುರ. ಸೊ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಅಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂದರೆ ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಶಕ್ತಿ ಹಸ್ತಂ ಶಕ್ತಿಧರಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಅಸ್ತ್ರ ಈಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಹೈಲಿ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಮ್ಮವಾರು ತಂದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಶಿ ಡಿಡ್, ತಾಮಪ್ಯಸ್ಯ ದ್ವಿಧಾ ಚಕ್ರೇಣ ಅಭಿಮುಖಾಗತಾಂ. ಆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಅಸ್ತ್ರ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಮ್ಮವಾರು, ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ರಶಿಂಗ್, ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಶಿ ಟುಕ್ another chakra astra and make that chakra completely spoiled and devastated. So, Satasya, if the fellow uses the Shakti Astra, she uses the Chakra Hasta. He uses the Chakra Hasta, Chakra weapon, is she. So, Makki and ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು. So, accordingly, each one is being fell down because of that. So, ultimately, you understand, Nisumbhaha Kopadhmatmaha. See, understand, every word is a mantra. Every action is a mantra. Therefore, especially when you want to do Durga Saptasati Namavali Dwara Homa Madbekadre, you have got number of namas. Not only Sahasranamam, but more namams. Therefore, ಆ ನಾಮಗಳಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದಿ ನಿಸುಂಭ became Kopa Adhmataha. See, Adhmata is, he was simply overpowered by the extraordinary, excessive anger, entirety of his personality. So he wanted to not keep tending the war, but he wanted to finish it. So in order that, ಅವನೇನು ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಶೂಲ ಹಸ್ತವನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಾನವಃ ನಿಸುಂಭಃ ದಾನವಃ. ಹೂ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ನಿಸುಂಭ? ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಅ ದಾನವ. And ಶೂಲಂ ಜಗ್ರಾಹ. So when he was taking the ಶೂಲಹಾಯುಧ and wanted to pierce Devi, and even before that, what she did, Ayantam mushtipatena Devi tachapi achurnayatu. So by her fist, she made that Sula Ayudha to become powder. So churna andre powder. So she powdered the whole show. So powder. Then mushtipatena jaghana. Then avid and also please note Thelapa avidyatha gadam sobi
आविद्यात गदां सोऽपि आविद्यात गदां सोऽपि
chikshepa chandikam prati
चिक्षेप चण्डिकां प्रति चिक्षेप चण्डिकां प्रति
sapi devyaha trisulena
सापि देव्यास्त्रिशूलेन सापि देव्यास्त्रिशूलेन
भिन्ना भस्वत्ममागता
भिन्ना भस्मत्वमागता भिन्ना भस्मत्वगा त्वमागता
ततः परशुहस्तं तं तमायान्तं
ततः परशु अस्तं तमायान्तं ततः परशु अस्तं तमायान्तं
दैत्यपुङ्गवम्
दैत्यपुङ्गवं दैत्यपुङ्गवं
ततः परशुहस्तं आहत्य देवी
आहत्य देवी आहत्य देवी
बाणौघैः
बाणौघैः बाणौघैः
अपातयत भूमण्डले
ಅಪಾತಯತ ಭೂತಲೆ ಭೂಮಂಡಲಿನ ಗುರುಜಿ ಭೂತಲೆ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
भूतले
ಅಪಾತಮಯತ ಭೂತಲೆ ಅಪಾತಯತ ಭೂತಲೆ
तस्मिन् निपतिते भूमौ
ತಸ್ಮಿನ್ ನಿಪತಿತೆ ಭೂಮೌ ತಸ್ಮಿನ್ ನಿಪತಿತೆ ಭೂಮೌ
निशुम्भे भीमविक्रमे
ನಿಶುಂಭೆ ಭೀಮ ವಿಕ್ರಮೆ ನಿಶುಂಭೆ ಭೀಮ ವಿಕ್ರಮೆ
भ्रातः अतीव संक्रुद्धः
भ्रातः अतीव संक्रुद्धः भ्रातः अतीव संक्रुद्धः
प्रययौ हन्तुमम्बिकाम्
प्रययो अन्तुमम्बिकाम् प्रययो अन्तुमम्बिकाम्.
So now you see the further of the war between Nishumbha Rakshasa and Durga Parameswari, who is Chandika, and Nishumbha is Bhima Vikramaha. Chandika is also equally and more Bhima Vikrami. So ಏನಾಯ್ತೆ ಅವನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಚಂಡಿಕಾಂ ಪ್ರತಿ ಗದಾಂ ಅಥ ಆವಿದ್ಯ ಚಿಕ್ಷೇಪ ಅಥ ಅನಂತರಂ ವೆನ್ ದಿ ಎಂಟೈರ್ Shulam and other astras of that Rakshasa were converted into Churnam, then again with all novel spirit, and he just brought that Gada and he threw that Gada towards Ambika, Chandika, and that Gada or mace which he employed was simply burnt to ashes by the Shulam by Lalita of Durgamma. So Bhasmatvam Agata Bhinna Shulena Bhinna Bhasmatvam Agata. In fact, it is highly interesting to note down that but the Ayudha which he used was Shula, and Ayudha with which she has fighting, she has the fight with that Asura is with Trishula. So here you observe how the Devi was able to put him out or kill him, or see that the chapter of this Rakshasa comes to a conclusion. So then that Gada is Bhasma, turned into Bhasma, being broken to pieces, and then again he has taken an axe, Parasuhastam. He took a Parasu into his axe, into his hand, and looking at him running, that Daitya Pangava, and people were also scared. Then what she did was, she tried to cow down or snap down that particular Asura who is coming running with the Parasu, and she made with her arrows that Bhakta fell on the ground unconscious. When the Maharaja was killed, and that Suprasiddha, so he became Ativa Vikramaha, Nisumbha, Bhumau Nisumbhe, Bhima Vikrame, Nipatite, Tasmin. So Bhrataha Ativa Sankruddhaha. And when he became very angry, what did he do? Ambikam Hantum Prayayo. He moved forward, but to finish Ambika. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಂಬಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನಾಶ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಲೇ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾರ್, ಯಶೋವಾ ಮೃತ್ಯುರ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಎ ವಾರ್, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ವಿನ್ ದ ವಾರ್ ಆರ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಡಿಫೀಟೆಡ್ ಆರ್ ಡೈ ಇನ್ ದ ವಾರ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ವರ್ಗಲೋ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಸತ್ತಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ವೀರ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಅಂತ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಸ್ವರ್ಗಲೋಕ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ದೇವತೆಗಳು. ಈಶ್ವರ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ಡ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಒನ್, ನ್ಯೂ ಅ ಸ್ವರ್ಗಂ ವೇರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ who will die in the war while action, they will be given a special honor. That's why Veera Swargam. And even for some soldiers, checking their performance, there are posthumous awards being given to all those soldiers. Anyway, so then the Nishumbha, who is really high Parakrami, ಅಂಥ ಪರಾಕ್ರಮವಂತನಾಗಿರುವ ನಿಶುಂಭ ರಾಕ್ಷಸ, when his own brother was killed or made fall down, then the other brother became very angry. So angry that he doesn't want to spare her howsoever, but only Hantum Ambikam. So he wanted to kill Ambika. So now again 18th sloka, please repeat. Sarathaha Sarathasthaha
सरतस्तः सरतस्तः
Tatha Ati Uchchaihi
तथा अति उच्चैः तथा अति उच्चैः
Gruhita Paramayudhaihi
गृहीत परमायुधैः गृहीत परमायुधैः
Bhujaihi Ashtabhihi Atulaihi
भुजैः रष्टाभिरतुलैः भुजैरष्टाभिरतुलैः
Vyapya Sesham Babho Nabha
व्याप्याशेषं बभो नभः व्याश्चाशेषं बभो नभः.
See, Asuras are not ordinary fellows, but they are very powerful and they are highly skillful. They are highly cunning. They are highly blessed, especially to win all sorts of wars with all sorts of people, so that they will hold immense authority with them. So, atha saha tatha ati uchchaihi gruhita paramayudhaihi. So then the Rakshasa brother, he has taken into support Paramayudhas. Ati Uchchaihi, that means they are very prominently, highly powerful number of Ayudhas he has invoked, and then he became Ashtabhihi Atulyaihi Vyaptya Asesham Bahonavaha. So he also assumed the Ashtadasha Bhujas. So he had 18 hands and occupied with the 18 hands and large number of weapons. He simply overpowered. So look at it. Bhujaihi Ashtabhihi. And moreover, how are the bhujas? Atulyaihi. Atulya, there is no comparison at all. They are simply unique for himself. And Asesham Nabhaha Babho. So he simply enveloped large space in the sky. And with that kind of majestic, gigantic personality, walking towards Dhammavaru with speed in order to finish her. And Dhammavaru is not scared, but she has, because war only, there cannot be any kind of slow action. No slow action. People are very quick, very energetic, vigorous, sustaining the anger, sustain the desire to kill, sustain the desire to win. That is a war. In fact, I spoke on the war skills of Devi Durga from Durga Saptasati. Of course, for a short time, in the Durga Saptasati, I mean Navaratri, at the Navaratri time, organized by 3-4 organizations from Delhi. So at that time, I could not talk much. But now, when you read this particular section, especially when they are when Ammavaru is facing the Rakshasas, Mahasuras, and in how many manners they are trying to uh, approach and overpower Devi and see that Devi is killed. But Ammavar is not A, she is Z. That is Mahamahimanvitayai Namo Namaha. So, as you see in the Nahasasnamas, she is a Mahamahimanvita. Mahimanvita, no doubt, but Mahamahimanvita. So that Maha has not got a wall. It all individualized power of energy stretch. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಮಹಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ, ರಾದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಆಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಂಥ ಜೈಗಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ, ಅಷ್ಟಾದಶ ಭುಜಗಳು and Paramayuthagalu and all these things he had. That Rakshasa wanted to finish Devi once and for all. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ? Now we are reading the 19th sloka. Tamayantam samalokya ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ.
ತಮಾಯಾಂತಂ ಸಮಾಲೋಕ್ಯ
ದೇವಿ ಶಂಖಮಪಾದಯತು
ದೇವಿ ಶಂಖಮವಾದಯತ್
ಜಾ ಶಬ್ದಂ ಚಾಪಿ ಧನುಷಶ್ಚ
ಜಾ ಶಬ್ದಂ ಚಾಪಿ ಧನುಷಶ್ಚ ಜಾ ಶಬ್ದಂ ಚಾಪಿ ಧನುಶ್ಚ
ಚಕಾರ ಅತೀವ ದುಸ್ಸಹಂ
ಚಕಾರ ಅತೀವ ದುಸ್ಸಹಂ ಚಕಾರಾತೀವ ದುಸ್ಸಹಂ.
So tit for tat anta. So when he was coming, she observed him, the speed and ayudhas and swarupam. So what did she do? Devi Shankham Navadayatu. she blew Sankham. And more, not only blowing the Sankham, also Jya Shabdam Chapi Dhanushaha Ativa Dussaham Chakara. So, what is the counter weapon or counter action for the terrible action pervaded by the Rakshasas? Actually, we can make one write up. I don't know who can do it. I think Jatish Garu will do it. So, how beautifully there is the action and reaction, attack, counter attack, the weapons and counter weapons. See that the war proceeds and that will be something which is normally not possible to tolerate or even face also. So that's why in the sloka number 19, Devi Dussaham. So she also, as she came, that Asura Dussaham, she also became Dussaham. Saha andre tolerate. Dussaha andre difficult to tolerate, impossible. See, for example, in Ramayana, Dussaham, that is Sita Devi, Papa, she always in Sundarakanda, in 30th canto or so, I am doing every Sunday Sundarakanda, and after this, at your desire, I'll start Sundarakanda for you all. So here, you observe that there is that kind of tit for tat. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಟಿಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ತಟ್ ಅಂತೀರಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಅವಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಮ್ಮವಾರು, ಶಂಖಂ ಅವಾದಯತ್, ಶೀ ಬ್ಲೂ ದ ಕಾಂಚ್, ಶಂಖನಾದ ಮಾಡಿದಾಳೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಶಿ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಶಂಖನಾದ, ಕಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಜಾ ಶಬ್ದನಾದ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಧನುಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಜಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವ ಕಾರ್ಡ್, ಆ ಕಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಕೂಡ she spoke about it. And Ativa, nobody could stand the sounds produced by Devi by means of a Sankha, by means of the Dhanushaha Ja or the card. So that's why in Rudram, you see, Vijyam Dhanuho anta now. We don't want Rudra to come to us with a strung bow, but he should be Vijyam Dhanuho, that is Rudra. But how about Rama? He's a Kodandarama. So as Kodandarama, he has his bow to his shoulders fixed, ready to come into action. So that way, the Dhanushtankara and Dhanushtankara itself will captivate and make people to get infatuated, and they swoon also. See, our eardrum is capable of tolerating sounds up to some extent. But if beyond that limit of the sound waves, then they will become deaf. I had a science teacher who was a little deaf. He told, suddenly the railway engine, there was a noise produced, that horn. The sound was so great that his diaphragm was cut. Eardrum, I should say. Not it? The eardrum got broken, and so that particular ear became deaf. ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಅಂದರೆ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಸಹನ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ, ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ಪವರ್ ಟು withstand that idre, people become dull, they lose things. So tumba light bandre kannu cannot immediately be able to see, it becomes blinded. So for example, when you go for an eye testing to cover eye, to measure your eye pressure or anything, the doctor will send a very powerful light into your eye. For a while your eye becomes blunt, you cannot see anything at all. That is temporary. But here it is something different. So dussaham andrenu, even if you spend some more time, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಮೂಲಾಗಿ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇನ್ ದ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರಾಕ್ಷರ ಸ್ತೋತ್ರ ವಿಚ್ we are going to publish it, which is found in Devi Bhagavatam, and Purushottam has done the job of compiling it. So Nyankaradhvanina tvam hi dushtarakshasabandhini tvamaham prarthayishyami rajavasyancha dehi me. Nyankara, ಈ ಟಂಕಾರ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯಂಕಾರ ಇದು ಶಬ್ದಾನುಕೃತಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅನೋಮಟೋಪಿಯಾ. ಸಿ ಅನೋಮಟೋಪಿಯಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೌ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರೈಸ್ ದಿ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ದಿ ಪವರ್ to characterize the respective sounds itself is a diagnosing. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾಸೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದೇ ಅಂತ ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ our doctors will expose you to the medical electronics and they will try to take a record or a graph sheet of the sounds and they hear the sounds, how the internal. So they will be able to detect anything wrong or anything good and all that. So here also you see, Sankhanada is one and also Jya Shabda is another. ಈ ಜಾವ್ದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ ಧನುಷಃ ಜ್ಯ. ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ವಿಜ್ಯ ಅಂದರೆ ದಿ ಜ್ಯ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಂಟಲ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಟ್ವಿರ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಧನುಷ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಡಿ. But Kodanda is that which is ready bow. When bow is ready, arrows are ready, easy to kill. For example, when Rama was to hunt that gold mruga, Maricha, he ultimately got ready Kodanda and arrow and killed it. ಸೊ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಥ ದೊಡ್ಡವರಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ದೇ ಗೆಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್. ಅಸಂಭವಂ, ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಲ್ಮೀಕಿ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಸಂಭವಂ ಹೇಮ ಮೃಗಸ್ಯ ಜನ್ಮ ತಥಾಪಿ ರಾಮೋ ಲುಲುಭೆ ಮೃಗಾಯ ಪ್ರಾಯಸ್ಸಮಾಪನ್ನ ವಿಪತ್ತಿ ಕಾಲೇ ಧಿಯೋಪಿ ಭುಕ್ಸಾಂ ಮಲಿನಾ ಭವಂತಿ. ಎನಿವೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಡಂಕಾರ ಧ್ವನಿ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೂ ಯುದ್ಧ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಟು ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ನೌ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯೂಸ್ಡೇ we will be able to note down how vigorous was the war between Sumbani Sumbas before they are ultimately put out and they are killed. The object of Durga Avataram, or Durga coming to the war field, or making them to come to war, is only to see the finish them. Not finish means to give them moksham. అమ్మవారు చంపేసిందంటే వాడికి మోక్షం వస్తుంది. కృష్ణుడు రాక్షస సంహారం చేశాడు అంటే వాళ్ళకి మోక్షం వస్తుంది. కానీ he wanted not to give moksham to Kalanemi Rakshasa, Krishna. So he acted and saw that Kalanemi Rakshasa was killed by Muchukunda Maharaja. And so that he never, afterwards he gave moksham to Muchukunda. So Adu Venkatramana Swami or Mahavishnu. So even today we say Muchukunda Varada Govinda, Govinda. So Muchukunda Varada Govinda, of all the people, why Muchukunda is mentioned? Because God goes to the Bhakta to give him the emancipation. That is because we cannot go to God and God comes to you. So that is the power of our tapas and all that. Sanatana Dharmam, Rishis enjoy, and nobody can change, nobody can harm the Sanatana Dharma. Om Swasti.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyankaravavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavavahe ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಸರ್ವೇ ಭವಂತು ಸುಖಿನಃ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಂತು ನಿರಾಮಯಾಃ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಭದ್ರಾಣಿ ಪಶ್ಯಂತು, ಮಾ ಕಶ್ಚಿತ್ ದುಃಖ ಭಾಗ್ ಭವೇತ್. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್. ಸರ್ವಂ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣಾರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು, ಶ್ರೀ ವಾಸುದೇವಾರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು, ಶ್ರೀ ವೇದ ಪುರುಷ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದೋಸ್ತು. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಾತೃ ಚರಣಾರವಿಂದಾರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು. ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್. ಹರಿ ಓಂ.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
So we are in the war field, witnessing the war, how each one is energetic, action, reaction, counteraction. Well, all these things are beautifully going on, and so we'll continue next. Thank you.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಗುರುಗಳೇ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಗಳೇ.
ಗೋವಿಂದ್ ಅವರೇ, ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯುದ್ಧ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು?
ಎಸ್ ಗುರು, ನಿಮ್ದು ಸೌವರ್ಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ 28 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು I think 1.5 hours ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ 1.5 years ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ದುರ್ಗಾ ಸಪ್ತಶತಿ, ಇದರ ಆಯುಧಗಳು ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಇದು ನವರಾತ್ರಿ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇವರು ನವದುರ್ಗೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ಎರಡು ಇತ್ತು. ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೋನಿಸ್ ಐ ಗೇವ್ ಟು ಬೆಲ್ಜಿಯಂ ಮಂದಿರ್ ಮೊನ್ನೆ. ಹೊರಡಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ 2 ಕಾಪಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ 2 years ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
You are great, sir. Thank you very much. Durgamma sits.
All that I'm doing is some communication, something ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆಗಿ.
Even that is the consent of Devis.
Yes, ಗುರುಗಳೇ.
ನೀವು ಇದರ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇವರ ಸಹಾಯ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಗಾಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲಲ್ವಾ? ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅರಂಗೇಟ್ರ. So many people have got lot of compliments to her, and so it's all divine. And
it's not easy. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದು, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ it's not easy to muster up such an amount